Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome at this agreement signing ceremony. It's a really a very prestigious event for us here at the university to be able to go into a second round of agreement with Schneider to support us with the EDSU-F'sasec, the French South African Schneider Education Center. The document is a document that will govern our relationship for the next 5 years. And to honor this prestigious event this afternoon, we are blessed with the presence of Prof. Mtlana, our Vice Chancellor and Principal of the VUT, and to have Prof. Gordon Zidi on our side, the Vice Chancellor and Principal Designate here with us as well. So, as we all know, a couple of weeks ago we've greeted Prof. Mtlana at a function, and she's looking for greener pastures. Hopefully some of that greener pastures will also be here with us. So the two VCs, welcome here this afternoon. And then I also want to make special mention of our DVC, Prof. Peter Zimba, who is responsible for this program. He is also then the chairperson of the steering committee that manages this relationship with the French government and with Schneider Electric. Thank you very much for your presence this afternoon. We've got a delegation here from Schneider. We've got here Zanel Da English, the Head of Sustainable Development of Anglophone Africa Cluster, Derry Gilmore, Engineering Specification and Schneider Academy Leader, that I would also like to mention. Then my colleagues, thank you very much for all the preparation work to make this happen today. And I'm going to be very short and sweet and get the show on the road by asking our first speaker, Zanelli, to come to the podium and to start the discussions this afternoon. Thank you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. All protocol observed. So for those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Zanel Dalglish. I'm the Head of Sustainability for Anglophone Africa Cluster for Schneider Electric, and I'm very proud to be here with the Vaal University of Technology today. I think we need to give ourselves a round of applause. So Schneider Electric is a global energy management specialist, and our mission is to help people to make the most of their energy, contributing to the transformation of industries with an innovative, international and responsible mindset. We have a very strong focus on sustainable development. We operate in more than 100 countries in the world, and we have more than 130,000 employees worldwide. Our commitment to sustainable development is very evident in all levels of our organization, as we strive to create, firstly, access to energy, and secondly, access to education, as two key pillars of sustainable development for Schneider Electric. In March 2012, Schneider Electric inaugurated the very first French South African Schneider Electric Education Center, and it is hosted right here at the Vaal University of Technology. I actually cannot believe that it's way back in 2012 already, and that we've come so many years with this wonderful training center that we mention at all Schneider Electric events as something that we are very proud of. The center was conceptualized around a tripartite agreement, and it involved Schneider Electric, the Schneider Electric Foundation, as well as the French Ministry of Education and the Vaal University of Technology. Whilst we were progressing, in March 2016, Schneider Electric entered an additional 4 agreements for Schneider Electric training centers in South Africa. So the VUT was the first training center that we had, and the new partnerships from 2016 now include the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, the College of Cape Town, the University of Johannesburg, as well as Sedibeng College. These 5 training centres, including the Vaal University of Technology, now form a network of training centres that we call the French South African Schneider Electric Education Centre Network, and the acronym EDSU-F'sasec will very soon become a household name. Schneider Electric and the Schneider Electric Foundation are very proud of the EDSU-F'sasec network that we have, as it's a key part of our sustainability strategy, and we want to create access to education in all the countries that we work in. This also speaks very specifically to the white paper that has been published by the Department of Higher Education and Training in South Africa. And I remember a few years back, we attended a meeting where they were saying that they would like to see TVET colleges and universities of technology strengthening their relationship to bridge the gap for education for students. And I believe that the partnership that we have with the VUT has started a revolution in creating this link, as we have now been invited to a meeting with senior officials at the Department of Higher Education and Training to share with them what our network of 5 centres are achieving in speaking to the white paper that they have published. So the Schneider Electric didactic benches that we're donating to the various training centres focus really on bringing a very practical component into training. So we have many experts around that are experts in education, from the Vaal University of Technology, the other training centres, as well as our Professor Alexander Sebastiani from the French Ministry of Education. And Schneider Electric's large contribution comes in the form of practical training equipment, which we believe is preparing students for the working environment. Today we are extremely proud to sign a new agreement with the Vaal University of Technology. This is to further our strategic relationship, to sign a 5-year agreement that follows on the success of the EDSU-F'sasec at the VUT since 2012. We would like to see the EDSU-F'sasec at VUT as a centre of excellence, as it was the first that was established, and the state-of-the-art Schneider Electric equipment that is used within the centre is really something to boast about. To show our support in the partnership, Schneider Electric South Africa has recently, 1 month ago, donated an additional equipment of more than R1 million for the expansion of the training centre, as we have now set up a PLC laboratory as well. Previously we were focusing on wiring only, and now we are expanding in terms of the skills of the students so that once they leave they are ready for the work environment. The addition of this new laboratory will provide additional skills to them, and they will definitely be work ready. As the EDSU-F'sasec Training Centre network focuses on creating access to education, Schneider Electric will also be deploying Schneider Electric Teachers Missions, which is missions that we do using Schneider Electric teachers and experts from around the world that come and provide advanced training on topics of interest to further educate students as well as lecturers. With a large level of unemployment in South Africa, we place a very large emphasis on entrepreneurship training and using our Schneider Electric Access to Energy program as a vehicle to create employment in communities. Through the program, Schneider Electric provides innovative green solutions, and we have also deployed multiple entrepreneurship training courses right here at the VUT through the Schneider Electric Teachers program. In Schneider Electric South Africa, we've deployed more than 20 Schneider Electric Teachers missions since 2013. We've trained almost 7,000 people, and we've delivered more than 70 projects for socio-economic development in the last few years. And a lot of these missions that we did with teachers were done right here at the Vaal University of Technology, and we also have quite a few more planned for this year. We have recently interviewed Mr. Nigel Armstrong. He was a director and co-owner of Greenwave Automation, which is a Schneider Electric multi-badge partner. Now, Greenwave Automation have recently employed 2 of the students that have graduated from the VUT EDSU-F'sasec Centre. And we did a press conference and press release with them last year as a testimony from these 2 students and what they have learned during their time here at the VUT. Well, Mr. Nigel Armstrong, the director, commented that the life skills, attitudes, and technical aptitude of the EDSU-F'sasec students that he received from the VUT by far exceeds any other learners that he has ever employed in a learnership within his organization. He has shared that he is very proud of them as they arrive with very advance life skills, and come with a spring in their step in the morning. We would like to thank all of our partners for their shared commitment to create access to education, and we look forward to the road ahead. As Schneider Electric have very large ambitions to further expand the F-sasec network, even outside of the borders of South Africa, and we will very shortly be branching out into neighboring countries. I would like to start off with a few votes of thanks to some people. If I omit anybody, please forgive me. So as a general note, I would like to thank all of those involved, and just a specific mention to a few people. First, I would like to extend a special thank you to Professor Alexander Sebastiani from the French Ministry of Education. Through his leadership and ambition for excellence and very high standards, we can now showcase a world-class training facility right here in Van der Bijl Park on the premises of the VUT that I am very convinced cannot be found elsewhere in South Africa. We are very proud. We are very proud to associate our brand, Schneider Electric, with such a world-class facility, and really believe that we need to put the F-sasec at VUT on the map for the rest of the world to see. I would like to welcome Mr. Hendrik Lange, as he recently joined as a co-director in the F-sasec to work alongside Professor Sebastiani. Thank you for the work that you have done so far, Mr. Lange, and we count on you for the sustainable expansion and operations of the F-sasec going forward, and you can count on our support to assist you in this journey. We would like to thank Mr. Hendrik van der Merwe, that is leading our project management committee with a lot of energy and drive. We have seen a very big improvement in the operations and the VUT management specifically of the F-sasec since Mr. van der Merwe has been the lead for the project management committee, and it's really a pleasure to work with you. Thank you, Hendrik. A very special thanks to Executive Director Mr. Wiseman Jack, who has been a champion and supporter of the project since the beginning and since the start. I really do appreciate the open door policy that you have, that I can always approach you and you assist with guidance as we need it. Thank you for your ongoing support and for believing in the project and to make a success of it. I would like to acknowledge and thank the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and Research, Prof. Zavimbo, who is also the Chairman of our steering committee. Prof. Zavimbo, thank you very much, since you've also been there from the beginning of the project, and we look forward to take your vision and your strategy with us in the next 5 years as we sign today to really make a success in growing the training centre. Thanks, Prof. Zavimbo. Prof. Mutlana, I think this is probably, I would say, your little baby, if I could call it that. This is a brainchild, I would say, of Prof. Mutlana, something that she's invested a lot of personal time and effort in. And whilst we are very sad to see you leave, we greet you with a lot of thanks and with a lot of gratitude, as we know that you leave a legacy behind and know that the impact that we are making in these students' lives are also due to your commitment and contribution. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to have met Professor Gordon Zidi today, and I really look forward to the incoming Vice Chancellor working with us on the French South African Schneider Electric Education Centre, and to see his vision and strategy to take us to new heights in the future. So I think this is just the start for us. Let us see the world is our oyster. Thank you for everybody for being here. Schneider Electric is very proud to be a partner with the University of Technology, and we thank you for your time and effort today. On that note, I would like to give an opportunity to my colleague, Mr. Derek Gilmore, just to share a little bit more about the Schneider Electric Academy and the training that we offer specifically related to engineering.
Thank you, Zanel. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries, colleagues, and students. So my name is Derek Gilmore. I head up the Schneider Electric specification team, as well as the Schneider Electric Academy. So I was unfortunately not able to be part of the first leg of this journey we are traveling, but today I pledge and commit my support going forward to continue with what we have established, and also to make sure that the students and that Vaal University have the best facilities, the latest technology, and we are able to impart that with our students and create demand for those learners moving into the professional world and being able to make a difference technically and to continue with the sustainability of engineering field as well as Schneider Electric in Southern Africa. So I think Zanala said pretty much everything that was or could be said from the Schneider Electric point of view. So from my side, I pledge my full support, and as an introduction and a face-to-face meeting with you, I'd love to interact with you a little bit more after this and possibly go on a tour of the facilities and see how we can take this to the next level and improve and move forward from where we are today. From the Schneider Electric Academy's point of view, we offer the next level of training. And going forward on what Zanel mentioned with regards to the students that were very successfully integrated into one of our leading systems integrators in the digital space for Schneider Electric. We at a press conference gave them the opportunity, and I presented them with some additional tertiary training courses to further their knowledge in the field and to even improve their skills further to make them so much better and so much more sought after. So it's very important to create demand for what we are doing here today, and actually what F-sec and VUT are doing. The feedback we're getting is phenomenal, and I'm really, really proud of the work you people are doing here. So I'd like you to applaud yourself for that. Further to that, the Schneider Electric Academy, we offer approximately 28 courses, specialized courses for the engineering field, of which 8 are CPD accredited. So for continuous professional development of the engineers, they are able to attend those courses. They undergo regular technology updates and upgrades so that we keep up with the Internet of Things, if I can call it that, and the latest trends in the market, as well as on-demand training. We will do evaluations, as we have done over here, and various other, and we will create customized training courses for customers and for yourselves, should the need be required. So that's pretty much it for me. I'd like to wrap up and pass on to Vaal University speakers, and I thank you for your time and your attendance.
We had a visit from Masita the other day. Helen Brown from the Masita head office, responsible for strategy and research, sent me an email back after the visit. And she said, indeed, it is the best training workshop for electrical occupation that I've seen so far. It needs to be replicated. And this is a person that spent a life visiting electrical training facilities. I think that is, a third party telling us that we've got an excellent facility. I'm very proud of the EDSU-F'sasec team. Guys, over this time, everything was not always hunky-dory, but fortunately we had Professor Irene Motlana. I think she's the best halfback that can be behind any scrum, because every time we dropped the ball, before it hit the ground, she had it to pass it on to the next guy to make sure that we make a success out of this endeavor. So the success of the Vaal University rests largely on her tenacity and a keen eye for the ball, and to make sure that the others amongst myself do their job on a daily basis. Prof. Irene, can I invite you to the podium, please?
Thank you. It's in the morning, hopefully. A good Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I really get in to the event of the day, first and foremost, allow me to introduce to the House the new VC, Professor Gordon Ndodomzi Zide, a Professor Zide has shown remarkable leadership skills over the years. He's gone through the mill. He started right down where we all started. He actually has straddled through various careers within higher education, from being a registrar to being the advisor of the VC in PE, then again senior registrar at UNISA, and then finally he came back to VUT after a stint of 1.5 years. He is therefore no stranger to the environment. So whatever happens to the program, it has fallen into the right hands. He has heard a lot about it. Professor Zide, thank you so much. Now, can I also extend, I know this has been done, a special word of thanks to our French Schneider partners, to Zanel. I always call you Uzanele. My granddaughter's name is Zanele, so it's easier for me to use that. Karina Van Said, Derek Gilmore, Sue Skippers, Priska Mashanda, and also to my colleagues who are here today, Mr. Langa, to the big man there, Hein, and to our students here, evidence of the hard work you have done. Thank you. However, having said so, I would want to extend a very special word of thank you to one gentleman who had the passion and the ability to take a program from nowhere 6 years ago and put it where it is today. And that's none other than Professor Alexandra Sebastian. And the sole driver in him taking up this task was upliftment. That's the only thing that was in his mind. Upliftment of our students, in particular our disadvantaged students. You couldn't have come at a more appropriate time, Schneider, as a partner, when the gap between skill and demand seems to be getting bigger and bigger every day. And this has led to a very turbulent environment in which we are living. Unemployment, job losses, joblessness, crime, a sense of not knowing, a sense of deep self-doubt, a sense of envy. You can just think of any type of emotion. And these emotions flow from when a person feels or thinks, am I not good enough? And yet the purpose of life, two things. First purpose of life is to recreate. Recreate has nothing to do with children. It means your ability to constantly look into yourselves, constantly re-examine yourselves and make yourselves better. But if the environment out there is so hostile or so uncaring that even that cannot be satisfied, then what's the point of living a decent life. So at times we create our own monsters, we are our own monsters, and we can find solutions to these monsters we are having. Perhaps, could I just tell you why to me the partnership, what is known here as an agreement signing ceremony, is so important? Because of the end results that is we envisage, there must be certain value-driven antecedents that will drive us. First, if you speak about an agreement or even signing a signing ceremony, you are assuming that this is done on the basis of trust, on the basis of collegiality, on the basis of interdependency, on the basis of dependency, on the basis of honesty, on the basis of focusedness and task completion. In other words, we are speaking here of even gain sharing, be it from the cognitive, even to the various skills that is required. And that is why I say you couldn't have come at a more opportune time. 6 years ago, we never thought from the stats that Zanel gave over to us, we could actually boast about a product out there. When one comes to the Val, it looks like we're always outside the radar screen. But we are well located for Schneider to have seen the opportunity, and that's where you went to. And that is what an entrepreneur does. In the midst of chaos, if you smell an opportunity, you go for it. The Val University is both a blessing and a great challenge to this area. We are surrounded by a well-established industrial ethos here, as heavy metal, petrochemicals, engineering, electricity generating industries. The university has begun to take advantage of the wonderful opportunities to position itself and redefine itself for the 21st century knowledge hub. And this, we see, can be fulfilled with this type of partnership we are moving into. Sadly enough, ladies and gentlemen, given our location, we are surrounded by a pool of unexplored, unutilized, a disadvantaged population that cannot access the benefits of the first world. Given a driver like Electric Schneider, opening up whole new ways of doing things, we have enabled our students, we've enabled our population to be able to have hope. It is said, hope springs eternal in the human breast. You've given them so much hope that they too can stand up and say, yes, I can. But until you make me an electric car, it can't work. That's all I'm asking from you. I'm not going to speak about the white paper, because whatever we are doing is in line with what the white paper says. De-skill, upskill, multi-skill, all the time. And for the mere fact that is we are actually bringing our lecturers in, we're also going to bring people from outside in to jerk up their skills. The world is fast turning into a world where the human hand will be obsolete. You cannot use your brains, you cannot think differently, you cannot be innovative. We are afraid we might be left behind. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a number of plans afoot for us to really push this partnership. As said, we were one of, I think, 4 centers. 6 years ago, who would have thought we would boast that is we also are part of the science park. We are also contributing to skills. We are also contributing to the upliftment of our society right around the country, particularly in this region. And there is clear evidence that has been demonstrated when Gilmer said, when our students were interviewed, their answers were of such quality, so tangible, so innovative, so entrepreneurial, that is, you can only say, well done to them. And we are still going to go further with this. Finally, we have seen a number of shifts within our students towards the ambition of our vision. I don't know whether we have our vision here. We said we want to become the leading university in technology education. So you have also taken a leap from our vision, unknowingly so. But you've also helped us move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates that we see here, these are all the seeds of possibility to move our country into a highly competitive global setting. We are dreaming, as the minister said, to focus on the training of artisans, and that we can do. Technicians, technologists, electrical engineers. You can just think of all those highly innovative skills that actually have their genesis from a small thing that was started with where Sebastian was about 15 or 7 students in a little room there, and just look how it has mushroomed. We thank you once more for your visionary leadership. We are looking forward to the day that our training center is going to be the capital hub or the flagship of producing electricians, not electricians that know what it is, but how to do it. Therein lies our strength. Ladies and gentlemen, I think there are also a number of donations that Schneider has given us to push forth our vision. I think it's 1.5 billion in terms of components. All those things we may not be able to have done, but today we can. And they've also, as we said, given us human resources, HR, teachers, to help push the vision of the 24th century forward. Fortunately, we are currently very strongly involved and partnering with a TVET college just at our doorstep, TVET. Having said so, once more, let me thank everyone who's come out today to witness a strengthening of a partnership. A partnership, as I said, that will be built on interdependencies, on gain sharing, on trust, all for one thing, fundamentally for the upliftment of a society. Said, a skill that is taught in childhood doesn't last forever. So you need constant hubs that will infuse life into those. And our partnership with the French Schneider is exactly that is the type of seed we want. That is the little lights we want to take this program forward. Finally, we rest assured of our commitment to this program, provided the values we have mentioned are adhered to by both parties. Thank you so much, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Program Director, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I also want to recognize my Vice Chancellor, Professor Matana, for the kind words that she has conveyed about my ability and inability to do things. What more can one say after such a beautiful speech by the Vice-Chancellor? Nonetheless, as the Vice-Chancellor was talking, I jotted down a few notes for myself. And then immediately what came to mind was that I should really be talking to you about the tenacity and the audacity of partnership. It is very important that we talk about the tenacity and the audacity of partnership. What does that mean? The audacity and tenacity of partnerships means that we have to fulfill a dream. It has been mentioned that Professor Mutlana was really the mother of this dream. So indeed, partnerships and collaborations are nothing else but the fulfillment of a dream. Again, partnerships, collaborations, and fellowship mean that we're looking beyond the man-made obstacles of delimiting the courage as well as the dreams of people that we are leading. No one and no man is an island. And so the partnerships really creates the opportunity for us to recognize in every human being that sense of belief and the sense of doing things better and faster. I also want to touch very briefly on what the Vice-Chancellor spoke about, the values. The Valley University of Technology has got 6 or 7 values, and amongst them would be honesty, integrity, credibility, collegiality, equity, and diversity. What that means is that we as a collective, and particularly promoting and driving this partnership and collaboration we're talking about, the same has got to be anchored on these values. But further than that, as Dave Ulrich would say, that in an HR environment, there are 4 pillars of an HR environment. And then those pillars of HR environment, I would like to pass them over to this partnership and relationship which the Vice-Chancellor indicated that we are indeed married to. But then what does Dave Ulrich say? Dave Ulrich talks about strategic partnerships. I think for us this is very critical because it is a strong pillar of moving partnerships to greater heights when we're talking about strategic partnership. But secondly, he talks about employee champion. And that employee championship is exactly what has made us to be gathered here today. So that is very, very critical. But also he talks about administrative expert. The Vice-Chancellor spoke about us constructing an electrical powered vehicle. And I'm sure that is possible. We were fortunate about a week ago to have hosted the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Technology and Management of Ghana. And in our engagement with him, I reminded him of a visit that we paid to the Makerere University in Kampala a few years ago, of course with the permission of the Vice-Chancellor. We went there with the late Professor Peter Omar Ojung. And what a surprise. And this is a challenge that we're putting to this partnership and relationship, because remember, I spoke about the tenacity and the audacity of partnership. And so at the Makerere University, the engineering students, Professor Morris Ndege, constructed an electrical powered vehicle. It is there. And so I said, this is indeed an illustration of administrative expertise. And then finally, Dave Ulrich talks about change agents. And then a change agent is exactly what has put us together here. Were it not for us driving for change, and transformation, I don't think that would be where we are. And so, colleagues, in the conversation that we had with Professor Peter Jimbo, we committed that through this process, through this partnership, we will go to Uganda with Professor Ndege, just for him to see what it is that he can bring forward in partnership with Schneider, so that as a legacy to our Vice Chancellor and mother, we will have to construct an electrical powered vehicle. If they can do it, certainly we can do it. Thank you very much. And finally, colleagues, there are 3 characters in any change management program. Number 1 is about change winners. Change winners are those people who see the beauty of change, admire it, but do nothing. They are change winners. And then, of course, we've got a second category, whom we call change skeptics. Change skeptics are people who would say, this is not going to work. I've been around for X number of years. I've been there, done that, it's not going to work. This is not the space in which we play. But I think the space in which we're playing is that of change makers. And that is a challenge that I'm putting to all of us. We are going to be change makers in order to drive this process to greater heights, as the Vice Chancellor has said. Thank you very much.
Part of today's. This is the check if you sign the class coming. People, can we please complete for today for record attendance register? For people, we had a visit from KSB Pumps the other day with the mechanical engineering, and we tried to explain to them, you know, what is the standard, what are we trying to achieve, and in the conversation in the meeting we couldn't get to the point, and I said, guys, just give me 3 minutes, let me take you to EDSU-F'sasec and show you what is the standard, what we are talking about. And when the director of KSB, the executive director of KSB came out of the unit, he correctly understand what is the standard of what we want when it comes to engagement with industry. So we are already leveraging the good work that Prof. Sebastiani and his team have done here at the Vaal University of Technology. So, you know, it is important for us to understand that the people working at EDSU-F'sasec is not people working at another university. They are our own people. They are VUT people. So I would like to recognize all those guys. That's part of the daily teaching and learning. Please guys, stand up so that we can give you a big hand of applause. Prof. Sebastiani. This is our employees. You are not working for another university or another planet. You are our people, and we want to recognize you, and we want to keep you at this university. Thank you very much. Must be a British film. I don't want to tweet like Alan Zella, but no, he's too dangerous. People, while we are busy with the administration, can I ask Prof. Mklana and Danelli to come to the table? We will sign the document. Are we ready? Prof. Zidi, would you like to join us? While the two are sitting there, I would like to have a new VC also in the picture, evidence. Yes, we all. Prof, sit. Try again. Guys, can we move the podium? Then I would like to invite the VIP guys. Please come here for a group photo.
Okay, and then
would like to have a photograph with also right behind. And Nelly, you, it's 2 pioneers, 3 pioneers. The 3 must be here. Can we take that technical stuff off for them? You're also beautiful. Okay, go nowhere. The students in the class, please try to come with the DC for a quick photograph. So you are behind. I want you in front, please. So this is serious stuff.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
People, we are finished with the formalities of today. The only thing that's left over is to get some sustenance. And I would like to invite you to come and help yourself with something nice to eat. Thank you very much.